From the block to the boardroom, from our neighborhoods to the world, this is Black News. Every story, every voice, every victory, every choice, big headlines and hometown views. If it matters to us, it's Black News. Culture, business, power and change, telling our stories across every range. No story too small, no truth refused. We're putting the spotlight on Black News.
Shout out to Black people.
Stay informed, stay connected, our perspective represented, truth in focus, nothing confused. Chrissy B is bringing Black News. Black News, our stories are you. Black News.
Hey, it's KB, your friendly neighborhood journalist, and welcome back to another season of Black News, the news outlet where we cover any story, any article, any trending headlines that affect the Black community, whether it's local or national. We try to go through the stories and bring you any information that you might need. Jumping right in, we've got so much stories to cover. We've been gone for a minute, but we are back, of course, and we just got so much that we're going to go ahead and cover. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into Nolan Wells. We've all been hearing a lot about Nolan Wells, and we are just still trying to figure out exactly what happened to him. So I know you've heard the story. You've been following it, Aqua. How on the 4th of July, apparently he was out with a group of friends. He was out with white friends. We'll just put it that way. He was the only Black boy within a group of white friends, and they ended up going to some sort of island, Horn Island. It's not habitable. It's just accessible by boats. Like you could just get to the island on boats. But apparently that's where the kids go to kick it. The kids go to hang out. They go to chill. So he went to Horn Island with his friends. Yes. And of course, there's a lot on social media right now about that, like how he shouldn't have, per se, gone and been the only person of color within a group of white kids. And so, but anyway, long story short, so he goes to the island. They come back at 3 p.m. They come back somewhere around 3 p.m. He is not with them. Sorry, but his mom, of course, is like, hey, where he at? They say that he said that he was going to stay behind because he was going to kick it with a girl that he met on the island. When everything happens and we can't find him and all of those things go down, they actually talk to the female and she says, no. Not only did he not say that he was going to stay with me, but he got on the boat with his friends. He definitely got on the boat. So that's one of the holes in the story. Just kind of fast forwarding, like I said, they come back. He doesn't. About midnight, the 4th of July, his mom does go ahead and file him in as the missing person. She's like, something's not right. Where's my baby? That's whenever they start tracking his phone and his items, like, where's he at? What's going on? So in tracking his phone is found at the location of the phone pings at the boy's house. Mm-hmm. Or with the boy's possession, because it's still 4th of July and everybody is still, on the vacation or whatever they're doing. But long story short, they have his phone. Not only do they have his phone, they have his keys.
Oh, that's crazy.
So if there's no foul play, there's nothing wrong or anything like that. And of course, this is still an ongoing and developing case. So everything is just questions right now. But in your adult life, have you ever had somebody else have your phone? Like, has your friend ever just had your phone at their house and they're not with you?
No, I don't think at any point in my life that has happened.
Exactly. This is weird. And another thing that his mom said is he's just like any other teen. So when they finally get his phone back, she's like, my son is like any other teenager. He snaps and he videos, he documents his entire day. It's the 4th of July. How come there is nothing from the 4th of July on my son's phone? The whole 24 hours in question is everything is deleted off of his phone. There's no videos, there's no text, there's nothing. And on top of that, there's also people and witnesses saying that they saw them arguing before everybody took off. He was arguing with his friend group, is what the other kids on the island and the other people were saying, other tourists and whatnot were saying. Long story short, of course, they do end up finding his body. He didn't make it. He did pass away. And there's just question, like, there's no questions answered. Like, okay, so what happened? And the boys are all saying, hey, I don't know. We left We left at 3. And so that's where we're at now. So the authorities of Jackson County, they're saying that they don't expect foul play, and that they did their own autopsy. They did their autopsy first, and then of course that's whenever we saw a lot of celebrities and whatnot kind of chime in. I think Colin Kaepernick and Colin Kaepernick offered to pay for, I'm not sure if it was for the funeral or if it was for the autopsy. And then Tyler Perry's paying for the funeral as well. But a lot of different people kind of chimed in like, nah, we're going to go ahead and get our own private autopsy. We want to go ahead and get that second opinion and see what's going on. So the result of that was today. And in the independent autopsy, it was declared that it was undetermined on what was going on. And but there was red discoloration on the back of his head. And then a lot of the other things that they couldn't test for, a lot of the other things that they needed to test for, because in the first autopsy, they ended up keeping his throat and in parts of his neck.
That's insane.
So
how do you send 95.75% of him for the autopsy?
And you know that there is the family, as soon as everything happened, everyone already knew that there was going to be a second autopsy. So for the life of me, I don't understand sending incomplete, you know what I mean? Like, how are we supposed to test adequately like you tested adequately?
What was your excuse for not sending it?
Because, I mean, when they did their test, basically that it was destroyed or whatever. But that sounds like bullshit. It's not, math ain't mathin'. Math is not mathin'. And like I said, this is all still a developing case. Everything is still like that. The autopsy was today or yesterday. The autopsy results came out this morning, that and all of that stuff. So everything is still developing. But how do you feel about it? What do you think?
I feel like it's a tragic situation that should have never happened. I understand in a world where we are trying to intermingle and coexist and whatnot, there are still things that we are not yet to. Your son should not have been the only child of color in a group full of non-melanated people, period. That was a setup. And you hope for, people to have good intentions and, well wishes and stuff when you send your kid out into the world with people who are supposed to be their friends.
Right.
But statistically, as things have been going these last few years, it's showing that is not the case.
Default.
And it really don't matter what color the friend group is. You know what I'm saying? It's showing that you can't trust people the way you think you can trust people. So why would you even put your baby in that situation for some mischief to happen?
My oldest son is 23, and everybody trickles down after that, and I'm still a who all gonna be their mom.
You know what I'm saying?
To this day, it's oh no, we're not going to that. We're not going to that. We're not going to that. No, I'm still that mom.
Like that was a poor choice on his parents' part, and not to say that obviously they didn't think anything like that would happen, but your red flags didn't go up. Did you not ask who's all gonna be there?
Listen, in instances like this, and maybe it's just my age and the fact that like I'm just I just want my kids to come home. In instances like this, baby, I'm okay with being wrong. I don't want to be right. You know what I mean? Like if I said that I have my spidey senses are tingling about your friend group, I'm okay with being wrong and nothing was going to happen, but you didn't go. Then for me to be right and everything that I said was going to happen did happen. You would have just had to be mad at me, and you would have seen the sparklers with the rest of us outside, but you would have been here. It's just tragic. It's exactly like you said. We just need to be a little bit more cognizant of knowing know your people and know who aren't your people. Because I can guarantee you that there were signs that probably wasn't his people.
And realistically, you don't know how people are raising their kids at home. You know what I'm saying? So sending him out with a group of strangers, you know what I'm saying, who they are in school or in public around everybody else, and authority figures are not who they're going to be, you know what I'm saying, without those people around. And you just don't know what type of kid they are. You can give a kid all the love in the world and they can still turn out to be an ex-murderer.
My condolences and thoughts and prayers to his family. This is it's just a sad situation, and I'm kind of tired of I'm tired of seeing it. It's just real messed up. It's real messed up.
Yeah.
But we're gonna we'll keep bringing you guys the more information as that story keeps on developing. Like I said, we just got the autopsy results today, so as we get more information, we'll give it to y'all. But moving on with Black news, we're gonna now talk about a woman who sues a bank for wrongful fraud accusations, causing her business to shut down. So basically, a bank said that they felt like this particular female, her name was Tiana Williams, in Lee Valley, Pennsylvania. She's seeking legal action after her auto deal business. It was shut down because the bank said that it was fraud. And you want to know why they said that it was fraud? Because she was making too much money. No other reason but that. So here's how that story.
How do you determine what too much money is?
Baby, it's a crazy story. So basically, she's the owner of Auto Deals Incorporation. A bank accused her of fraud. They ultimately derailed her whole up and coming business. The investigation ended up freezing her funds. It drove away all of the customers that she already had, and then like the potential customers and the people that were lending her money, because it sent out like notifications to everybody that she was in business with, like on some just to let you know this is fraud. And so everybody was like, what the heck?
Why would you do that before investigating it?
And so there's the thing. And then the investigation comes back and there is no fraud at all whatsoever. But they've already sent that out. They've already did the damage. And so that's why she's suing. And that's why she's suing. So basically, she built her business from the ground up. She started out flipping cars and helping individuals that had bad, damaged, or no credit at all. So she was like for the people, which is another reason why I feel like, but we're not gonna do that. And so, and so by 2023, her business had generated more than $1 million in sales alone. That opened the door for her to obtain her financing license, which helped her be able to give more people loans, particularly people of color. Are we following? Yep. So now with all of the expansion and the growth, it had a branch manager kind of side-eyeing because he rolled up on the business one day, acting interested in business and stuff like that. This is the guy we're talking about. So he does a sale. He pitches his business sale. You should bank with us. Whoop, 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 whoop. She's like, okay, cool. She drops the $35K. She deposited $35,000 into the bank so that she could go ahead and start using it. And then she applied for the $100K loan, business loan, and whatever. He flagged her because she had her money on time. Wow. Because she had her money on time, he flagged it as suspicious.
That's crazy.
That is the only reason that he flagged it, because it was on time. She had it right then and there. And so when he went back to the bank and she deposited it already. So now the $35K is already in his stuff. He already has it. And while he already has it, he flagged it as suspicious. And so that ended up freezing all of her other accounts, which had the payments from people's cars and everything. It literally everything froze up her accounts. Now people are getting the note about the fraud stuff and all of the things. And so they're reaching out to her like, what's going on? I knew it was something janky about you. I knew it was ghetto. This was too good to be true. All of the things, and people started pulling out until she had to shut her doors. And so
I hope she get everything back and then some.
And so freezing her accounts caused lenders to back out, which is why she had to end up shutting all of the doors to this thing. The case highlighted the challenge faced by Black women in the banking sector with the importance of fair treatment within the investigation procedures. But why the heck was there even a damn investigation? Because she had her money on time? What are we investigating? You came down there. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you're working at the bank, what does how she came in, got the money before she got here, got to do with it?
But that's my thing. She didn't go to you. You did what you do. Yeah, you were scouting because you needed big money in your bank. And you found big money, but it didn't look like what you thought big money should look like. So then you flagged her?
That's crazy.
Crazy work. The way my kid's name would have been on that bank, A Bank of Nadron? What? Like, this is crazy work. But anyway, so now she's suing. This is also ongoing. So I hope Tiana gets her coins. Miss Williams, go after everything. You need to go after everything, baby. I would. But that's so crazy. Have you ever heard of something like that?
Never. I've never heard of someone being flagged for anything for being on time or having everything up front. Like, what? Ain't that what you want?
Like, what was she supposed to have? Half today and half next week? Like,
payment plan or something? Like, what?
Like, that's crazy though. But I hope she gets all them coins back. We're gonna move on. This one we're not gonna stay on it too long because it pissed me off too much. But we still got to cover it. This man was found dead after he was arrested when they found inappropriate text to a student from a school he worked at. So middle school counselor Quentin Dixon was found dead on campus following the arrest for allegedly texting a minor that attended the school he worked at. So basically he was being a creeper deeper to a little girl. He kept texting her, does she need ride homes? Does she need anything? This, that, da, 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 da. And her family members actually, did a phone sweep. They did their phone sweep. They found that information. They called the cops immediately. Upon calling the cops immediately, of course, they obtained his phone. They see that, yeah, you are texting kids, and they arrest him. He gets out on his bond, and then a couple of hours later, they end up finding him dead in one of the rooms at the school that he had to resign from. So I guess he was getting all of his things, and he was trying to get ahead of it all. And so he went back to the school to get everything, and they end up finding him dead. At first, they were trying to determine what the heck happened, but now they've ruled it, of course, the coward way out. He unalived himself. Because they had already, the daddy, the mom, everybody was already on his ass. The cops had already figured out everything, and the school had already fired him. So he alived himself and saved everybody some energy, because as you should, you creeper. We're going to go ahead and move on. This one I love. Shout out to Black people. We haven't had a shout out to Black people moment in a minute. This is the very first Black Everything Marketplace celebrates 1 year in business. Shout out to Black people. So BOB, which is Black on Black Marketplace, is it's a marketplace in Norfolk, Virginia, and again, it's celebrating. It's 1 year in Black business and excellence. So yes. So Tree Kelty is the founder of Black-owned business, and she originally, or Black on Black Marketplace. She originally said it was created as a marketplace for a cultural statement, rooted in economic empowerment and collective progress. The space opened despite the resistance by the town. Everybody was kind of feeling away when she wanted to open it up, because it was the theme of Black on Black is this is the only one in the whole world, not just in the United States, not just in the nation, in the whole entire world, but every business in the building is Black owned. Every product is Black owned, Black made, etc. No, you cannot sell your waist beads here. No, you cannot. It's real Black owned around these streets. It's and so that faced backlash. Why can't she said what she said? If she loses investors, she loses investors. And it's the only one. Like I said, so they celebrated a year in February, I believe. Let me make sure. Yes, they opened up on Black History Month, so we celebrate a year in February. The vending place, it has some of the products that it has. Of course, it's got apparel, it's got beauty and health supplies like lotions and soaps and things of that nature. We got jewelry. They've got vegan and specialty foods, skincare, and then they've got designers and hair care distributors. Mm-hmm. So I kind of want to make a trip to see it.
That would be dope.
Yeah, I kind of want to see. And, but so she, like I said, so she wants to open more, but this is the first one. And so it says that, excuse me, Black on Black Marketplace is proof that when we build for ourselves, we not only survive, but we thrive. And they have a website that you can go to, of course, blackonblackmarket.com, and you can kind of check out some of the things that they have. So shout out to Tree. Keep doing your big one. I love that. I love that for her. Let's go on to Sonya Massey's. You remember we covered this in one of the seasons of Black News, I believe. When she was shot in her house. She was the lady that called the cops because she thought somebody was breaking into her house.
Oh, yeah.
And then the cops told her to sit down and then to go and turn off the water on the stove.
Yeah.
Well, the cop that shot her is he's been sentenced to 20 years in prison. Exactly. He's been sentenced to 20 years in prison. Like I said in the recap, he's being convicted of second-degree murder for October 2020. I hate that we have to say a win is a win.
Right.
I really hate that. Because this was senseless. She called for help. She called. She said that she felt like somebody was doing something to her. And so anyways, when he gets there, he's with another officer as well. But his name is Sean Grayson. And he was the former sheriff deputy, which makes it fucking crazy. I'm so sick of it being the sheriff and the deputy and I'm sick of it. But anyway, he was a former deputy. He responded to her 911 call because she thought she was having a home invasion. She was sitting on the couch. He instructed her to take the hot pot of boiling water off of the stove. And when she's doing this and he's got the body cam on, she looks at him and she says, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." He starts screaming. He tells her to put the pot down. At this point, on his body cam, she's got her hands up. She's not a threat. And he shoots her.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that.
Anyways, so in court, whenever getting the conviction, her mom looked directly at him and said the same thing that her daughter said, which was, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." And Sonya's dad said that Grayson doesn't even seem to care. Like, he uses the court just like, whatever. And here's why. He only could technically have to just do half of that time, and he could get out in a year with good behavior if all his cards align, and they will. And so, yeah, so they got 20 years, but there's a possibility that he could walk in one. So crazy work.
That's crazy.
Crazy work. So let's kind of lighten the mood just a tad bit. I titled this one, "Peeled His Muffin Cap Back Blue." Okay. So imagine it's your return to boxing. You are lit. You get ready to face your opponent and he hits you. And when he hits you so hard that your toupee loose.
Oh my God.
Comes loose. This is crazy. So Drill, Big Baby Miller, he makes the comeback of a century when his toupee his slips during the match.
Wow.
And
Why would you box with a toupee?
say, in my head, I would think that like the same thing with like a lace front or anything. When I start sweating, it's going to undo what it was supposed to do.
That's crazy.
And so his toupee slipped during his match on January the 31st in Madison Square Garden, of all fucking places. Madison Square Garden. Come on now, bro. Okay. So the opponent was Kingsley Ibe. He was a heavyweight champ. And what makes it even more bizarre was it was the fact that this particular match was his comeback fight, his return to the ring after being gone. And so he hadn't fought since 2024, but he still ended up getting that win. He ended up beating that ass with that toupee hanging off. Midway through the fight, whenever he goes back, okay, so he don't even know. He's in his zone. He's winning. When he goes back and sits down and they do the face clean and all of that stuff, he realizes that everybody is looking crazy and got their phones out. And he realizes that his own coach is kind of like, gang, come here. And so when he goes back, he tries to fix it a little bit and he realizes that the sweat has sweated off that adhesive, and he yanks it off and he throws it into a crowd and proceeds to beat ass because he won. And so shout out to Muffin Cap, because I don't think I can call you Big Baby no more. But shout out to Muffin Cap for winning your comeback match and giving us some amazing footage.
Oh, wow. He's losing his hair. This before, but a fighter is getting the hair knocked off his head, Sergio.
Wow. That social media, that's like a cartoon.
Oh, my Goodness gracious.
I've seen a lot.
So we're going to move on to some local news. Well, some sort of local, some Texas news. Houston's only Black female-owned hotel business celebrates 3 years of business by giving away free night stays to customers. So would you go? I was following her story too. She's kind of lit. So her name is Deidre. Let me see what her last name is. Deidre Mathis. There we go. Okay. So the name of her hotel in Houston is called Wonder Stay Boutique. It opened doors 3 years ago. She's an entrepreneur, of course. She broke the barriers of an industry that's predominantly ran by men, of course. But not only is she a woman, she is a woman of color. So shout out to Deidre. Shout out to Deidre. She has a little bit of fun facts about her. She has been to all of the continents. She's been to 46 countries, and this is what inspired her to open up the boutique type hotel. She wanted it to kind of be fancy, kind of classy, kind of bougie. And so she's opened that up. And so here's how she's awarding everybody in July and August. So if you're in Houston, or if you're on your way to Houston, or you plan on traveling to Houston, in July and August, she's giving away 1 night stay, but you have to, of course, you gotta book there. You gotta pay for some of your nights, and then you get one of those nights for free. But a free night in a hotel is a free night in a hotel.
And I'm thinking, like, what weekend?
Exactly, because I kind of want to go see.
Just to support.
Yeah, exactly. I kind of want to go see. She has a lot of business knowledge up under her, and she teaches classes. So that would be a cool little field trip to go out to Houston to kind of just pick her brain, and you know what I mean? Yeah. That's really, really lit.
You see this?
We are coming to Houston to see you. We are coming to see you. And that concludes Black news, but you know that we can't leave it at just Black news. We got to throw a little bit of strange but true news in the mix too. And that's my favorite segment. And my news might be strange, but of course, it is always true. So are you ready for these? Here we go. So what would you do if you were at a hotel, if you were at a casino, right? And your machine starts lighting up. It tells you that you are the winner. It goes across the screen that you won $42 million. $42,949,672.76 to be exact.
And I need every penny. I need the 76 cent too.
And when you print out your ticket and you take it up to them people, they tell you that they machine malfunctioned and that you didn't win nothing.
No,
And let's add more insult to injury. And they tell you that the real price that you won was $2.25. But since you got your hopes up high, we'll give you a steak dinner.
What? Nah, give me the steak and the 43.
I need that 43 mil. I'll get some golden chick on the way out after you give me my check. And so that's literally what happened to this single mom. So Katrina Bozeman, she was denied that 43 million jackpot from a slot machine in Resort World Casino in Queens. The casino claims that the machine malfunctioned, and in their rule book, if a machine malfunctioned, we don't owe you none of that. That's an unspoken rule. And since she sued, and then she took them to court and everything, they won because their rule book really says that. If we feel like the machine malfunctioned and just told you a bullshit ass amount or an amount that's too high and we don't want to pay it, we can call malfunction and we don't have to give you that. But we will give you steak as an inconvenience. And I will knock all this shit over. $43 million worth of shit. I'm knocking this shit over. Do you know how many people I just called and cussed out and said, fuck this and fuck that? Da, 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 da. What? For $43 million? You know what I'm talking about? Fuck you in this steak. I don't want this steak. So, Katrina, hey, I hope you tore up something. You better have torn up something in that spot, girl. I feel for you, though. We're going to keep it moving. Have you ever had a date when it was just like, man, I wish I could get my money back. I wish I would have never went on that date with you. Well, Brandon has too, and he decided to sue. Brandon said this girl wasted his time because she was on the phone the entire time they was on their date, and he sued her for $17.31.
I mean,
Brandon said, give him his coins.
okay,
Run him his coins.
business.
Run me my coins. And at first I was on Brandon's side because if I'm interested in you and I'm hanging out with you and all of the things, why are you on your phone?
Right.
Am I gonna sue you for the $17? I don't know. But I might not talk to you again. But let's keep it going. So basically Brandon Vesmar sued his date, Crystal Cruz, in a small claims court for $17.31. The exact cost of that movie ticket. What movie you think was important enough for him to crash out like this?
Oh no, it's probably gonna be something crazy.
It wasn't crazy, but I in my head I was like, it had to be Marvel because anything else is just it just doesn't make sense that you would crash out about anything else unless it's Batman. It was Guardian of the Galaxies.
Wow. I mean,
It was Guardian of the Galaxy.
$17
You know,
and some change
and
for
so
a movie ticket.
exactly. And so at first I was on his side, but then it did seem like he put 10 on 2, because there's 3 sides of the story. There's, his, hers, and the truth. And so on his side, which does sound a bit much, he says in the first 15 minutes of the movie, she answered her text like 10 to 20 times to the point that I told her, you need to go text outside. Will you please go text outside in the lobby? And that made her be like, bet. And got her purse and went outside to the lobby and then walked her ass out that door and drove off and left him there at that theater.
I mean, what did you think she was going to do? Wait for the movie to be over with?
And so he took it to court. He was like, not only did you waste my time, you wasted my money and you left me stranded. Brandon Buki, you didn't have a whippy, but that's neither.
Wait a minute. Why you didn't chalk that $17 up the gas money, my guy?
Why you didn't?
You needed a ride to get to the movie.
You should have Ubered, bro. You could, and so.
You could have sued for the price of the Uber.
And so he's upset because he's like, I'm really, really trying to get to know her. And granted, his antics and his stand on business and stuff kind of made me start to see it her way. And what she said is first off, we met on Bumble. Or I don't know, is Bumble a dating site?
Yeah.
Okay, so we met on Bumble. Let's start there. I don't know him. This was our first outing. It was in public on purpose. I did not text 20 times like he said. I was, in fact, letting all my girls know that I was okay and I was safe. When he crashed out about me not paying attention to the first 10 minutes of Guardian of the motherfucking Galaxy, though, I did not feel safe. And I did not want him back in my car. So I got up when he said go to the lobby and I left. And it's like,
I mean, but okay, let's back up a second. Your first date where you're trying to get to know somebody, why the fuck would you go to the movie? You can't do no.
You can't talk. You can't talk.
You can't get to know nobody at the
Right.
movie.
But my thing is it's like, he is giving the creepy guy from the dating site.
Yeah, that's strange.
You're giving creepy guy from the dating site. Like,
She took that red flag and she ran with it.
and as she should. As she should. This is strange but true news, and bro was acting real fucking strange. But she felt away. She drove home.
That she should.
And I feel like that, your safety. But here's the thing: it dropped in court because she was like, if you would have asked me for the $17.31, I would have gave it back to you that night. And so she ended up just giving him a $20. And court was like,
Catch an Uber.
are we cool here? And so, but yeah, they still gave him an article with his crazy self. But I kind of feel like you might be the red flag.
Yeah, you might be.
It's giving you, it was you. And let's move on to our last story of the evening. I know if you have the TikToks, you've probably seen this. But some scientists are saying that adolescent dolphins have been spotted passing around pufferfish to each other in the pod to get high.
Dolphins are smart.
And this is it's a conflicting study because of what you said, dolphins being smart. So the BBC documentary team filmmakers used a hidden spy cam to capture footage That the particular video that I'm talking about. It's one video, and that's the one that we're talking about. But it's the pod, and one dolphin has a pufferfish in its mouth. You see it release a little bit of toxin, and then he passes it to his bro. Bro passes it to another bro. Bro passes it to, so it's a pufferfish pass.
First of all, side note, why BBC ain't changed their name?
I know, I need y'all to get it together because I feel dirty saying it every single time. I feel nasty saying it out loud all the days of my life.
Oh my God.
But so anyways, they said that that's them passing the puffer. That's what the scientists have coined it, passing the puffer. And so when they do that, they gently chew on the puffer fish. That causes the fish to release neurotoxins. Not enough to be deadly, because they do release the neurotoxins when they're threatened and they're scared shitless. The dolphins have figured out a way to siphon that shit though.
That's crazy.
Because they're, dolphins are smarter than us. They're brilliant. So they figured out a way, or some scientists feel like dolphins have figured out a way to siphon that shit. After they do, the reason that they're saying that the dolphins are high is because they start acting high. They start slowly spinning in circles. They start floating to the top and just laying there. They see their reflections in the water, and they just kind of on some chill, whoa, kind of shit. And so scientists feel like, they are high. The other scientists are like, we ain't got enough cases where dolphins overall are all doing that. This is very, very, exactly. Okay. Flipping them over there getting high. Flipping them getting high, bro.
They said they're ahead of the curve.
Yeah, flipping them is puff passing. I don't know about the other dolphins, but what he's saying is like that dolphins are extremely brilliant, and they've just figured out a way to play catch underwater. That ain't got nothing to do with these dolphins sucking on the neurotoxins. Like, they could have played catch with some coral reefs or with a turtle or with anything else. They chose the puffer fish with the neurotoxins that make you high when you have a little bit, when you microdose. They over there microdosing with the puffer fish. Y'all is the only ones that ain't caught on. These dolphins are smart. They are living in the future. You hear me? So if you guys have any stories that you would like to submit to Strange But True News or to Black News, you can go ahead and send those over to us on any of our social media platforms. Do we have an email yet for Black News, or is it the same one that we had before?
Nope, not yet.
So when we get that email up, then we'll go ahead and let you guys start submitting to email form. But for now, just send it to our social media and whatnot. But that's the end. That's going to go ahead and conclude this show. Thank you guys for rocking with the kid. I will be back next week with more articles, more topics, and more trending news that you probably hadn't even heard about yet. This is KB. I am signing out. Talk to you soon. Peace.